Welcome back to Press Review. Let's start by taking a look at today's front pages in the Middle East. Starting from the UAE, the Khalij Times reports that Israeli Marines mounted the first ground assault on Gaza yesterday, further escalating a deadly six-day offensive hours after the United Nations Security Council unanimously called for a ceasefire. The paper also reports that Iraq's fractious parliament and again failed to make any progress towards forming a new government, even as militants gained ground north of Baghdad. From Saudi Arabia, the Arab News reports that Saudi Arabia has criticized the UN Security Council for not taking effective action to prevent the Israeli military aggression against Gaza, as Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas seeks to ask the UN to put the state of Palestine under international protection. The paper also reports that King Abdullah approved a number of resolutions on Sunday to boost higher education in the kingdom and facilitate higher studies amongst university staff members in Jordan. Iran's Tehran Times reports that Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif held meetings with the US Secretary of State John Kerry and 3 EU foreign ministers in Vienna yesterday to help advance nuclear talks between Tehran and the major powers. The paper also reports that the Syrian army recaptured parts of the southwestern town of Mliha as the country's armed forces continue to gain more ground against Takfiri terrorists. From Beirut, the Daily Star reports that 7 Hezbollah fighters and 32 Syrian rebels died in fierce clashes on the Syrian-Lebanese border. The paper also reports that Prime Minister Tamam Salam will not call for a cabinet session this week due to lingering differences amongst ministers over key issues such as extra budgetary spending and the Lebanese university's contract professors. The Egypt Independent reports that the Arab Doctors Union's Emergency Committee dispatched a third convoy of medical aid to the Gaza Strip on Sunday. The paper also reports that Egypt's official statistics agency Campass said that the number of tourists visiting Egypt in May reached 768,000, which is a drop of 20.7% compared to 969,000 in the same month of last year. Now let's take a look at the top Middle East news from UK papers. The Independent leads Middle East news reporting that a military drone from Gaza has been shot down on its way into Israel. The paper says more than 170 Palestinians have died in Israeli airstrikes so far, and while the Israel Defense Force claims it does all in its power to limit collateral damage, many of the people killed by strikes have been civilians, including women and young children. Also from the UK, The Guardian leads Middle East news reporting that Syria's Vice Foreign Minister Faisal Mekdad said Syria is determined to eliminate the Sunni extremist group ISIS, urging Western countries to recognize new realities by joining the battle against terrorism and ending their support for the rebels. The paper says Mekdad said that many countries were now seeking security cooperation with Damascus, but security matters could not be separated from the political cooperation. And The Telegraph reports that an influential Commons committee has said that Britain must establish a diplomatic presence in Iran to capitalize on a potential deal on the country's nuclear program or lose out on global race to trade with Tehran. The paper adds that MPs said the Foreign Office must trust that President Hassan Rouhani, who took office last year, is a genuine reformist determined to transform the country's relationship with the West. Now let's take a look at the top Middle East news in international papers. From Germany, the Deutsche Welle reports that 7 days before the July 20th deadline to strike a deal, foreign ministers have failed to advance talks with Iran. The paper says the discussions have so far focused on imposing long-term restrictions on Iran's uranium enrichment and tightening those already in place on plutonium production, both of which can lead to the manufacture of nuclear warheads. And finally, China's Global Times reports that Jordan has warned Israel that preventing Muslims from entering Al-Aqsa Mosque will fuel hatred and violence. The paper adds that Jordan said the Israeli forces targeting worshippers near Al-Aqsa Mosque on Sunday, injuring 20 of them, with Israeli forces supporting radical Israeli settlers who broke into the yards of the Al-Aqsa Mosque. That was it for today. For more updates, visit our website on Levant.tv. Thanks for watching Press TV. Join us again tomorrow and bye for now.